Hello. We're going to be looking at Lab 2 right now, and I don't think I need to even talk very much. I was wondering if I needed to say anything at all here. Lab 2 effectively is do a couple of tasks with C strings, what we did in 1400, and then immediately go around and do the same darn thing with string objects. And the whole point is just to compare and contrast what the differences of these two approaches are. They're both equivalent, they do the same thing in a different way. And if you know C strings and you want to learn how to write strings objects, you can go. That's what you should be paying attention to, or vice versa. So it shouldn't be that difficult of a lab, but it may not be. It may be. If you get completed this, then go back to lab 1 and see if there's any other parts that you really want to work on. So here's what I would do for a string. Notice I have two different things here. This is, by the way, the solution file, which I'll supply to you. Here is a message I'm going to have. Here's a substring I'm looking for. Here's a character I'm going to find. I'm going to do the same sort of thing with the character defined, a character string, and a character substring that I'm looking for. I'm going to make them just arrays of characters afterwards, and then afterwards, at the very end, I'm going to need to make sure I deleted them, and if I didn't delete them, I should have a delete in there. I got to put a delete in there. I need to clean up these arrays at the end. But I'm doing it two different ways. So here is the answer, would be the answer for how to. I'm going to be using cout. Notice it, the message goes out, it points out. I'm going to be using getLine. I'm going to be using cin. Notice the arrows point into where the character is going to be going. And I'm going to be calling functions in strings. Like, here's my message. I'm going to find, in my message, I'm going to find substring 1. And then I'm going to have various output messages. The equivalent set of approaches for C strings. This is what we did in 1400. This is straight C code. So I'm going to use printf instead of cout. I'm going to use get s underscore, well, the underscore s is for safe, meaning I put in how big the C string is. That's what the underscore s is. I can try, or I can also try scanf as well, and I can play around with that. Scanf will only go to the next character until the next white space, not for a full line. So I'm using getS again. I can use scanf. Here's my using scanf for finding a single character. I use the percentage C for a character, percentage S for a string. Notice if I'm using scanf for a character, I need to put an ampersand in front of the variable it's going to, because I need a pointer to the variable. And how many characters I'm going to be putting in here. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing with finding out where things are in a substring. I'm going to call substring str, which is the function for finding something in a substring. I'm going to call string length instead of calling where's length in here? Length should be in here. Here's find, and here is, I should have a length call in here. If I don't have a length call, I should have. I can throw one in there easily enough. So let's just make a fake length call here. Message 1.length. Right, that would be int my len is equal to this. Right, this would find the length of message 1 and put it into variable mylen. I'm going to get rid of that again. I'm also going to, just for argument's sake, I'm going to clean this up. At the end, I know I need to get rid of these things, so I'm going to call delete on a message. I just forget what the names are, so. And it's an array, so I'm going to delete the array. And here I'm deleting the substring. Okay. That's all this assignment is doing the same task of finding the number of times I have a character in a number of times a character is in the string, the location of a substring in a message, and I think maybe even the length of the string, and that's it. I'm going to get input from the user, both a full line of input or just up to the next white characters as well, and so I get to use scanf, I get to use printf, I get to use getS, I get to use cout, cin, and I get to use getLine. So we're playing around with the various concepts for string objects and how they compare to C strings, which is what we did in 1400, and why we might actually want an object. Because what if I don't remember that the motivation here is if I do not remember how to get the substring of something, this. You have to sort of memorize what str is. Well, the string itself might want to know how to find a substring. And that's when we get to use things like find. I could write message1 dot, and it'll give me the options of the various functions associated with that object. So we're getting introduced to objects, and soon we'll actually make our own objects. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.